Hey everybody, this is the Sliders Review, and I'm here today to talk to you about X-Men 97 Season 1, Episode 1 and 2. Whew. My. It's like that old song, like, what's that one song? Slap Me Cause I Feel So Pretty. I mean, they were cooking something up fierce when they created this show. I'm like, I was a little scared, you know what I'm saying? Especially after the first episode. Because here's the thing. I only watched the first two episodes. There's one episode I like, and one episode I think is okay, but like reeks of desperation. And so, but when it comes to Disney Plus or Disney in general handling the X-Men from the 90s series, I was extremely worried, like many other people, because Disney has been flopping lately and stuff, and they haven't been able to hit things out the ballpark. And like I said before, I love the 90s X-Men series, just love it. So I was weary. There is a lot of good stuff in this new series. There's a few things that slightly irritate me and stuff. And so, first, let me just say that I don't know what the heck happened with Bo DeMayo. I don't know why he was either fired, let go, or decided to leave. There's some controversy around it because nobody's talking. And if he did something that was so bad, then why did he leave? And now why is one of the executive producers speaking fondly of him? So what the heck happened? Still to this day, nobody truly knows. Some people speculate it's his OnlyFans account, which Disney knew about for 2 years prior, and supposedly he never put no naughty stuff on there. It was just shirtless pictures of him working out. And so nobody knows. Now, there are some ignorant little internet anti-woke trolls that said, oh, maybe he got fired because he didn't make it gay and lame, which they're taking that phrase from South Park. And that just shows you how pathetic they are to use that phrase. But if you even research him, because the moment this news broke, like a week or two ago, I looked this dude up to see who the heck he is. And he's openly gay. So, no, they did not fire him because he didn't make it as gay as they wanted to. I hate these type of people. If people have to use that South Park phrase, you're just pathetic. But something happened and he's gone. But when he created X-Men 97, apparently it was so good. They finished the second season already. And then, of course, they fired him before the third can even be made. And sometimes I wonder if this is a publicity stunt. This happened right before the show came out. But who knows? But boy, you know that rock phrase, if you smell what the rock is cooking, do you smell what Bo DeMayo was cooking? Because this show is pretty good, I have to say. It gave me member berries. And that's something, I was expecting because it's from the 90s. It's supposed to take place directly after the fifth season. So I was wondering, curious to know what kind of direction they would go into. I didn't want them to repeat storylines they've already did, which this seems to be a mashup of old and new. And, I was kind of weary of like the new voice cast, which some of the new people sound exactly like the people from the 90s. The new guy they got to play Gambit sounds like Gambit. The new guy they got to play Cyclops sounds kind of like Cyclops. The guy they got to play Magneto and the new actress they got to play Jean kind of sounds like them. Kind of. Now, some of the returning people, like the dude who voices Wolverine, dude still got it. Voice hasn't changed at all. The actress who plays Storm still has it. Has not changed. The new guy they got like doing Bishop does not sound like him. As for Beast and Rogue, they still sound the same, but their voices have changed. The one playing Rogue, her voice sounds younger, and the one who plays Beast, his voice sounds different for some reason. Like he sounds younger. And of course, they got a new Jubilee who sounds similar to the older Jubilee. And she's not as annoying as she was before. Thank you, God. I do like her doing her little jiggle wiggle like dance at the nightclub. That nightclub scene was animated interestingly. Like it was eye popping and stuff. So for the voice cast, they do a really good job. And so just to get some of these things out the way before I even go into what the episodes are about, some of the things that did bug me, the animation, I'm gonna have to get used to. Like it's messing with my memory because I'm so fond of that 90s style. And this seems to be a combination of a couple of different styles. It's a combination of season 5 from that I think it was a Filipino company that animated the 5th season of X-Men. It's a combination of that. It's a combination of Marvel anime X-Men, not the 90s. Not the 90s anime, but like this anime from the X-Men. Like it kind of has that feel to it, especially the action scenes and stuff, because they go by quickly, not quickly as in, oh, they're under a minute, but quickly as like they're kind of sped up. There's also a combination of like Spider-Man Unlimited, and it's also a combination of what Marvel has been doing with their animation lately with a lot of their projects, especially with that Flash type of animation and just anime in general. One of the things that bugged me so much about the animation is their mouth movements. They don't move naturally and they just move really fast, and especially when some characters are speaking slow. Another thing is like they're just the movement in general. When they walk, when they fight, it moves in a weird kind of way that almost feels like Flash and feels like it's just sped up. But as for like the designs are fine. It just looks weird compared to that of the 90s. It's more streamlined, it's more glossier looking, like it's really saturated in like color, and it's just like it just has a weird vibe, and it's gonna take some use for me getting used to. Some of the dialogue I do not like because it sounds dumb and kind of comedic, which I know the 90s dialogue was kind of weird at time. But here's the thing, since this is a continuation of like an older project, so it's newer, like a revival. Correct the mistakes of the original. Don't keep the mistakes in there from memory berries and nostalgia, because that's just gonna look tacky and it's gonna, well, feel tacky and stuff. So some of the dialogue is kind of weird. Another thing I have are the weird continuity eras in this show. Like, I get it. They really wanted to encapsulate what that 90s series was about. But don't bring everything from it. Correct the mistakes. Like the whole first class picture of the X-Men. Angel is in there. He should not be in there because when Angel showed up, he was not part of the X-Men. But then remember, like I said, there's that flashback scene where we have an Angel being part of First Class, but he wore a different outfit. Also, like Iceman didn't look so frosty looking, like snowy looking, when he was an X-Men and stuff. And that picture kind of reminds me a little bit of Wolverine in the X-Men, their First Class. But, made in this like new style. Also, continuity issues. I always hated when Wolverine claws, like say he doesn't have his gloves on, right? He's in his civilian clothes. His claws come out, and all of a sudden those little three guard things are still on his flesh. That never made no sense to me in the first season of X-Men, and they changed it for the second season. Yet here on this show, they're all like, hey, remember that? Let's redo that and stuff. Don't do that, because that's just weird and stuff. And so, like, it's little continuity issues like that. And it will be, and another thing that kind of bugs me, it would be nice if they, no, it have to explain why Magneto changed his outfit. I know it's from the comics. I still hate that outfit. But like, if they're gonna change his outfit, then change everybody else's, because I'm looking for a change. It would be nice if they had like newer uniforms from like the comics that never been adapted yet. I'm just kind of tired of seeing that old 90s style. I get why it's nostalgic and stuff. It will be nice if they explain why the heck Bishop is on the team. That don't make no sense. It doesn't make any sense at all. Like, why is he here? He's from the future and stuff. And of course, he cut his hair and they changed his voice actor. It would be nice also if they explain why Morph changed his face to look like that. I know he's doing the whole non-binary thing, but maybe, I know that probably explains why, but they're probably going to explain it in another episode. It's just kind of been nice if they would have explained it in the first and stuff. The intro is going to get used to me getting used to too, because it seems to change per episode. And they did try to recapture the look and feel of the original intro. They just changed it up here and there. And it's weird because I remember exactly what the older one looked like. And then it's like, oh, wait, this person's here now? And it's like, wait, what? They even tried to recreate the end credits of them spinning around and like the little mouse clicking on like, the pictures. But after a while that did stop. So some of the member berries are cool and the other ones just kind of like, I don't need it. You know what I'm saying? Now, as for the actual episodes, I like the first episode. I don't love it, but I love the second episode. Everything was good in the second episode, especially that twist ending. You can tell they're just redoing the first two episodes of the original series. You have the one with the Sentinels and like a teenager running away and they had to stop Gyrick and Trask and all that in the first episode, similar to the original. And then there's a court trial in the second episode, just like it was in the original. Don't do that. Do something new and different. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to the first episode, my opinion of that is too flashy. They try too hard to be cool to rope in new audience members and bring back those original ones. And not only that, but they just like, it felt too flashy. It felt kind of desperate. And they tried to make them look way too cool. It's like the first episode ran by so fast. I'm trying to figure out what the heck happened and why are they bringing in Trash and I'm not saying Trash, Trask and Henry Gyrick and everything. And then it's like, hey, what exactly is going on? And Magneto showing up and they're playing basketball and some Sentinels and they're using weapons from the Sentinels. And okay, like there's so much to like bring in your head in just that short run time. And then it's just kind of like the action on top of it. It just felt kind of desperate and everything for them to try so hard to make the action scene look so cool and like flashy, you know what I'm saying? And when it's like goes by so fast, it's kind of hard to take in. Like Cyclops, like when he was falling out the sky, he used his optic blast to land himself. I don't remember the original one ever doing anything like that. That's something more that the Wolverine and the X-Men Cyclops would do. And, so that's just kind of like weird. I just felt like it was flashy. But the second episode, because see what happened is, I think somebody got hurt or something like that. And they had to find like Trask. Because Henry Gyrick is still like arrested. And he told Cyclops, I shot the man you look up to. Wait, is he the one who shot Xavier and made him paralyzed? Because if so, that don't make no sense because the continuity of how he lost his legs never made no sense. I will say what really got me, I thought that doctor lady was Mystique, but she's not. And I always thought that Magneto took over the Xavier Institute at the end of season 5, but apparently not in everything. And I still don't trust Magneto. But come into the second episode. Oh, that was so good. The trial, them trying to see if Magneto will be a good guy. He's put on trial for humanity and everything. He's tried to kill them so many times. And it's like, why are they going after him now? Like, they had so many times years ago to go after Magneto. Why now? That he takes over the X-Men, they're like, oh, well, we can't have that. So we need to put you on trial. But didn't he have a trial years ago? Oh, no, he tried to put the mutants on Asteroid M. They tried to interfere in that. But they still let him do that. But it's just kind of like, why are they going after him now? And so, like, um the Friends of Humanity, they protest too much and then they barged in. And then we have the Executioner with 3 claw marks on his face. I think he might be that one dude from Wolverine and the X-Men. I forget his name. And they're using weapons from like the Sentinels, which is so smart. And not only that, but they found a way to made the mutant collar into like a weapon projectile and everything. I like that little nod. You see the person working on it, but you don't know exactly who it is. And then they used it because they needed that big impactful moment similar to that of the first season of the original series when Morph died and Beast got arrested and went on trial. And I knew they was gonna get somebody. I just didn't know who it was, and it was Storm. I was shocked and surprised to see that because Beast probably wishes it was him or Rogue or something like that. And the fact that it was just Storm, like, oh my God, no. I knew it was going to be permanent. They'll probably find a way to reverse it or time travel or something, but for now, she ain't got no powers and she is devastated. So devastated, she leaves the X-Men. There might be some uproar with the fact that she's black and they stripped her of her powers. Just because they're all like, why the black woman had to be the token, like, sacrifice and everything. Which is messed up, by the way. Like, why? And not only that, but you gotta remember, Storm has not had the best time when it comes to adaptation. They did not do her justice in the first movie. They lied to the actress to get her to be in the third movie. Then in X-Men Evolution, she was barely like, well, she was there, but she wasn't like, it's literally, she was one of the adults, but she didn't really seem like she was always in command and all that other stuff. And then in Wolverine the X-Men, she pretty much just got nerfed. She was barely there and barely said anything. So she doesn't always have the best position when it comes to being adapted. And it was a heartbreaking, touching moment of like her letter. And that's what I like about the second episode. There's so much emotion and it's those quiet parts. I am shocked they went there with Rogue and Magneto because that's from the comics. I don't know how fans feel about that. And I don't know how she's able to touch him without absorbing his powers unless he's just that strong to not pass out. And yeah, because she was really into Gambit in the first episode. So it's like, oh, they're going to start making them a couple. But then comes that second episode. And it's like, what are they doing? Like, why is she doing that for, like, with him? He's so much older than her. She's got to be in her early 20s or 30s or something. But he's just, like, really old. And to break Gambit hard. And him and Magneto are going to get into it at some point. Morph doesn't do much, and I'm kind of surprised that when he turns into like another person with mutant powers, like he's able to fly. How exactly is that possible? And how when he turns into Psylocke, how is it that his hands turn into swords and they turn into actual metal? I don't get that. Maybe I'm thinking about the first X-Men movie when Mystique did it and she hurt herself, but who knows? Maybe it's different in the comics and stuff. He doesn't really do much or say much. He just jokes around. And like, I know people gonna go crazy again about him being non-binary, and when they lied and said Wolverine's gay in this series and he's not. But the way that Tree interaction was with the beer and the chips, you know they're gonna talk about. See, we told you that's what they are, but there's no confirmation of that. I'm surprised they allow blood, alcohol, and cussing in this show. And yeah, that's like a big like step up from the original because they was on broadcast TV back then. It was also cool to see Storm and Jean bond, you know, because those two apparently are really close, but I never got that impression in the original series. It was always more her and that of like Rogue. But you know, Jean confides in her about like the baby and this and that, and it is Nathan Summers' Cable, so that's good. They're going with the comics, and like the comics, there was that huge twist reveal about another woman showing up at the mansion, and it happens to be Jean. But it's like, wait, what the heck just happened? Because Jean is already there. So at some point in time at the hospital, there was a switcheroo happening. And maybe this is a clone. We don't know if it's Madeline Pryor that they're finally gonna actually go there. And she is, of course, the mother of like Nathan, but then that screws up the continuity of the original series when they fully established that it was Jean that was the mother and Madeline was just an alter ego that she did when she was the Phoenix. And maybe it's Mystique, but I doubt it's Mystique. It has to be a clone. So that was a huge twist reveal that got me hooked, and where I still think the second episode is a million times better than the first. The action was better. Also, the action reminds me of the X-Men anime, because when they do the action, they move the camera around, and you know that's something they did with the anime and stuff. I still think Magneto's up to something. I feel like he rigged that whole like protest thing because he had a weird smirk on his face right before he was about to get blasted, but then Storm stupidly got in front of him. Like, why would she do that? I don't get that. I really don't get that. But yeah, I can't wait for the rest of the episodes. I hope that the rest of the episodes are as good as episode 2 because that was really good. Alrighty, well, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.